good.
Right?
So we're back from NORRA. We got the win. We finished the race. It was absolutely psychotic. We found out a lot about this truck in a little bit of time. One of our awesome partners, CJD Racing, they're the ones that were helping us get the extra travel in the truck. Now we're gonna drive the truck out to his shop. We're in the race truck. We're in a little bit of traffic right now on the Ortega Highway, so we're rolling pretty slow. Give you guys an update on what we're doing with the truck. We're basically taking it out to CJD's spot, and he's gonna have a look at it for the first time. He's never seen the truck, and see what we can do to improve. Probably cut that upper piece off that we had on there last year, which is now colliding with our upper control arm, and doing a different setup so that we have maximum clearance, maximum travel. So we wanna see what we can learn from this truck and this setup, and what Michael over there can kind of figure out to get the maximum effort from this. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, CJD Racing. Let's see what we can get out of this rig. This is our CJD kit that we run, that Michael here builds and designs and helps us out with. We were looking at it because obviously now that we're back from the race, went with this level kit because it's basically what we had with the factory suspension points and things like that. But as we're learning Bilstein shock testing, they were telling us, like, you got to get a bypass. You can't be out there racing on a single shock up front, you know, which is basically what we have in the rear, the adjustable setup. CJD, they have a couple different variants for the front, and we're just looking to see with what we have and what they offer, and just trying to find the best possible setup for the truck that we can. So this is, you know, his kit, and this was where we were having our contact. Oh. He makes a setup that, like, basically fixes all that, and it will give us the room to put that second shock in here, like so. Because that upper tube design was in there from last year. This structure here, which we then use to mount our shock. We certainly can't fit two in there with the current setup, so.
I mean, I know you want to get more travel off of where you're at right now, and then this is where I was talking to you before about your upper arm mounts.
Yeah.
So like for us, we make a kit that takes this, because right now I think you said you're cycling 11.5 inches.
Yeah, at best.
So what we do is we get rid of that anti-dive that Nissan puts in here. So this side actually comes back down and it relocates about the same height as that, which you're dropping about 1.5 inches, which that right there alone is where we're able to cycle up to that 13 inches that I was telling you about. So I mean, that right there is a gain for you, but with this setup, that 13 inches is gonna be your max. But when I was talking to you on the phone, if you're wanting to do a bypass with this setup without getting wider, what we can essentially do is keep this where she's at. This side would come off, and then we would have to run the arm into here and bring it back into here. And then we could take the bypass and bring it down into here.
Gotcha.
So I mean, that's going to be the most simplest thing for you to fit a bypass in where she's at right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, all right, man. I will, I'll give you a call probably tomorrow before the weekend at least.
Okay.
So, and we'll figure out if we want to do the 2.5 or the 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that should be it.
Yeah, we can make whichever one you want happen.
Awesome, man.
No,
Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Getting the truck back from CJD, I could not be more stoked with how it all came together. It's Michael over at CJD for building us this totally custom race style front suspension kit to get us over 15 inches of front travel. CJD also went through and just gave the whole truck an overall kind of check over. They have a good eye for all things off-road, so they found a couple little bits on the rear end to kind of clean up with their kit that we have on the back. And then they also relocated our Optima battery into the bed so that we have a little more room up front for the new shock hoop that moves everything a little higher up. We have a few more things we want to do to the truck. I really want to get our custom carbon front fenders and rear bed sides that we designed Save-On for the Frontier. So we want to get those pieces on, but at this point, we don't have the time, so we're going to go to hammers with the factory body the way it is. So we're going to have a little bit of poke in the front end, but you know, I'm not terribly worried about it. It's more so just getting some shakedown and testing on all the components. We're going to be meeting up with Bilstein to do some shock testing later and get those front bypasses all dialed in, because now, you know, we have not only the pressures to adjust on the two external reservoirs, but we also have the ability to control the high and low speed and rebound of our front end. So we never had bypass on the front of the race truck, and this is just going to completely change the game, and I know it. All right, what do you say we hightail it out of here? Yeah. All right, so we are heading out for doing some shock tuning with the Bilstein team. They were nice enough to spend their last day at Hammers as if they haven't seen enough dirt and dust all week long and helping out every racer out here. Oh, there's the brig. I forget that dude's name, but I love that brig.
Purple tent, dude.
No, have you seen him?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, what's his name?
I can't remember either.
I know. I
get jumps.
I know, he hits the biggest jumps. He's about to show us up. We're gonna send this freaking little Frontier right behind him. We'll see if we survive. So yeah, we are going to cruise the race truck. We got the Bilstein team and the Titan, and they're gonna watch us drive this truck and do some adjustments on our shocks, because with our new suspension setup and our new Bilstein shocks, the truck is working really well, but everything is just right down the middle. So we can definitely squeak a couple knobs and get some more speed out of it and some more effort out of it. So that's what we're doing out here. So yeah, gonna be sweet. We showed them some video on our way over, just like we had the two trucks going parallel. So they're gonna add some compression right out of the gate because it was like kind of pushing in pretty quickly. So I think that's like the first move they're gonna do, and then we're gonna kind of run this little path back and forth and see how we go. Make some more spins and turns and dial this baby in. And we're having a big sale on shop.forsbergracing.com. So hop on there to grab our last pieces of merch before we line up our 2025 new gear, where you have a few keychains left, some more shirts, and we have a couple of these awesome Nismo hats left in stock. So make sure to head on over shop.forsbergracing.com to grab our last pieces. Rebounding quicker, right? So it's not just compressing as quickly as it was. Yeah, it's coming down slower. Yeah. All right, so after the first little pass, Nathan and Kyler, they wanted to make another adjustment and then go for a ride and feel it. So I was like, why don't you just drive it? Because I know how to drive trucks. So they're out there right now. We got both of them in the truck, which is great. So they can both kind of drive it and feel it. It's you know, you always feel the differences in a chassis or suspension the most when you're driving it. Like passenger, you can feel it a little bit, but when you know like the inputs and how you're approaching things and how the truck is responding or the car, it's always better to be driving. So look at her go. Working. Yeah. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah.
Dude, it's working good.
Right?
Yeah, all it needs is like, I think just a little bit bigger tires, clearance your fenders, and a little bit on the bump stops.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Dude, yeah, that thing. You need to get in. I'll give you a ride.
Yeah. Wow. How much more did you change?
I went like 5 turns and 3 turns.
Okay.
In on the compression.
Okay.
And like 2 in the rebound.
Yeah, no, you can see it like pushing the tire down way more now. Like the trucks, it's not like letting the tire compress and the nose come down. It's just like pushing, like packing the tire down. But yeah, it is night and day the setup now versus what when we first met.
Yeah, you can actually.
We went from Pogo Monster to way too soft, and now we're cooking. Heck yeah.
It's way funner to drive.
Yeah. And you still think a little more on the bump stops?
I think so. I think once you get that clearance and the bigger tires,
Yeah.
you know, you're gonna be even pushing it harder. I think it would just be a little safety of just
Yeah.
getting that hard
A
hit.
little more, yeah.
There's enough weight up there.
Yeah, it's still a pretty heavy truck.
Yeah.
You know, the engine's real far forward. You know, it's factory location.
We need to put more in it. Sweet, we got a trophy truck.
I like that.
Watch out, Bryce Menzies. Mint 400.
I love it. Chasing my own chase truck. It's so funny when you see people get excited about what they do.
Yeah.
He was like, he jumped in this thing and he was just all smiling, like, this thing's awesome. Well, definitely a successful little test session. We even got a couple turns on the Titan, seeing if we can get that guy working a little bit better. But they were telling me that we probably got to do a new shock for the rear just to kind of change where everything is. It kind of needs a new leaf pack to raise it up 2 inches, and then also a new shock that's not as long, so that at ride height it's more in the middle of the travel, so that we get more use of the shock. Because right now we're like way up in the bump zone, and so it's just really just chattering at the back of the truck. So the front's nice, but the back is just kind of, you know, stiff as a board. So even, you know, whatever we can adjust on the shock, it's not enough just based on the physical location of the piston inside. So a little bit of that, but yeah, definitely learning a little bit more every time we, you know, drive these trucks, and, you know, especially working with smart guys like the Bilstein team, teaching us a little bit every time and telling us what we're doing wrong. But no, it's been good. So we are now on our way into Hammertown and start getting ready to head out. You can see this line. It's been like this all day, and it is going to be like this for the next 24 hours. So just people loading out. It's crazy. Race truck is getting better and better than ever, you know, and so I got to thank CJD for really going through and getting the suspension dialed in on the front of that truck, as well as he knocked out a quick little skid plate for us. It's a little bit stronger than the one that we had on there previously, and relocating that battery and all the little checks that he did on the truck to make sure that when we go racing we won't have any mechanical failures. So definitely pumped on that. So thank you again to those guys, and, you know, looking forward to getting that truck back out there. But yeah, King of Hammers, awesome time every year. If you haven't been, you got to go.